Brassica juncea, also known as mustard greens or Indian mustard, is a leafy green vegetable that belongs to the Brassicaceae family. It is an excellent source of vitamins and minerals, including vitamin A, C, K, and folate. In addition, it contains antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties that help prevent chronic diseases such as cancer and heart disease. Brassica juncea is a hardy plant that can be grown in a variety of climates and soil types. In this article, we will discuss how to grow and care for Brassica juncea. Growing Brassica juncea. Brassica juncea can be grown from seeds or transplants. If you are starting from seeds, sow them in a well-drained soil that has been enriched with compost or well-rotted manure. The seeds should be sown about 1/4 inch deep and 1 inch apart. Water the soil lightly after sowing the seeds. Once the seedlings emerge, thin them to a spacing of about 6 inches apart. If you are transplanting seedlings, choose a location that receives full sun and has well-drained soil. Water the seedlings thoroughly after planting them. Brassica juncea can be grown in a variety of soil types, but it prefers a soil that is rich in organic matter. The soil pH should be between 6.0 and 7.5. If the soil is too acidic, you can add lime to raise the pH. If the soil is too alkaline, you can add sulfur to lower the pH. Brassica juncea can be grown in containers, as long as the container is at least 8 inches deep and has drainage holes. Use a good quality potting mix and fertilize the plants regularly with a balanced fertilizer. Caring for Brassica juncea. Watering. Brassica juncea requires consistent moisture to grow well. Water the plants deeply once a week, or more often during hot weather or if the soil feels dry. Avoid getting water on the leaves, as this can lead to disease. Fertilizing. Brassica juncea requires regular fertilization to grow well. Use a balanced fertilizer every 4 to 6 weeks, or as directed on the package. Avoid over-fertilizing, as this can lead to leafy growth and reduced yield. Mulching. Mulching around the plants can help retain moisture and suppress weeds. Use a layer of straw, leaves, or grass clippings, and make sure to keep the mulch away from the base of the plants. Pest control. Brassica juncea is susceptible to pests such as aphids, flea beetles, and cabbage worms. Inspect the plants regularly for signs of damage or infestation, and use insecticidal soap or neem oil to control pests if necessary. Harvesting and storage. Brassica juncea can be harvested when the leaves are young and tender, usually about 30 to 40 days after planting. Harvest the outer leaves first, leaving the inner leaves to continue growing. The leaves can be eaten raw or cooked, and are often used in salads, soups, stir-fries, and other dishes. Brassica juncea can be stored in the refrigerator for up to a week. To store the leaves, wrap them in damp paper towels and place them in a plastic bag. Alternatively, you can blanch the leaves and freeze them for later use. Planting and sowing timing. Brassica juncea is a cool season crop that prefers cooler temperatures ranging from 50 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 to 21 degrees Celsius. In warm regions, it can be grown in the fall, winter, or early spring, while in colder regions, it can be grown in late spring or early fall. Avoid planting Brassica juncea in the middle of summer when temperatures are high, as it can cause the plants to bolt or flower early. If you plan to grow Brassica juncea in the spring, Start seeds indoors about 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost date in your area. Transplant the seedlings outside after the threat of frost has passed. For fall or winter crops, start seeds outdoors about 10 to 12 weeks before the first frost date in your area. Sow the seeds directly into the soil and cover them with a thin layer of soil. Spacing and thinning. When planting Brassica juncea, space the plants about 12 to 18 inches apart to allow enough room for the plants to grow and develop. If you are growing Brassica juncea in containers, plant one plant per container. Thinning is an essential step in growing Brassica juncea as it helps prevent overcrowding and promotes healthier plant growth. Thin the plants when they are about 2 to 3 inches tall, leaving only the strongest and healthiest plants in the ground. Disease prevention. Brassica juncea is susceptible to various diseases such as clubroot, downy mildew, and black rot. To prevent these diseases, practice crop rotation, which involves planting Brassica juncea in a different location each year to prevent soil-borne diseases from building up. Also, avoid overhead watering, which can spread diseases. Water the plants at the base to prevent moisture from accumulating on the leaves. Harvesting. Brassica juncea is a fast-growing plant that can be harvested in as little as 30 days after planting. Harvest the outer leaves when they are young and tender, leaving the inner leaves to continue growing. Harvesting the outer leaves encourages the plant to produce more leaves, resulting in a longer harvest season. When harvesting, use a sharp knife or scissors to cut the leaves at the base of the plant.
Longan trees, Dimmocarpus longan, are tropical evergreen trees that are widely cultivated for their sweet, juicy fruits. These trees can grow up to 20 meters in height and can live for more than a century. Longan trees are native to southern China and have been grown in Southeast Asia, India, and other tropical regions for centuries. They are highly valued for their fruit, which is used in a variety of dishes, including desserts, drinks, and soups. In this article, we will discuss the techniques involved in planting and caring for longan trees. Planting longan trees. Longan trees can be propagated from seeds or by grafting. Grafting is the preferred method because it produces trees that are identical to the parent tree and can bear fruit in a shorter period of time. To propagate longan trees by grafting, choose a healthy branch from the parent tree and remove a section of bark from the middle of the branch. Cut a scion, a piece of the branch with buds, from a healthy tree of the same species and insert it into the cut in the parent tree's branch. Secure the scion with tape or grafting wax and wait for it to grow. When planting longan trees, choose a sunny location with well-drained soil. Dig a hole that is twice the size of the root ball and loosen the soil around the edges of the hole. Place the tree in the hole and backfill with soil. Water the tree thoroughly and add a layer of mulch around the base of the tree to retain moisture. Caring for longan trees. Longan trees require regular watering, especially during the dry season. The soil should be kept moist but not waterlogged. To promote healthy growth, fertilize the tree with a balanced fertilizer that contains nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Apply the fertilizer in the spring and summer months, and avoid fertilizing in the fall and winter when the tree is dormant. Pruning is an important aspect of longan tree care. Prune the tree in the late winter or early spring to remove any dead or diseased branches. Prune the tree to maintain its shape and to encourage new growth. Pests and diseases. Longan trees are susceptible to a variety of pests and diseases, including fruit flies, scale insects, and anthracnose. Fruit flies lay their eggs on the fruit, which hatch into maggots that feed on the fruit. Scale insects are small, flat insects that suck sap from the tree, causing the leaves to turn yellow and fall off. Anthracnose is a fungal disease that causes dark spots to appear on the leaves and fruit, eventually leading to the death of the tree. To prevent pest and disease infestations, keep the tree healthy by watering and fertilizing it regularly. Use insecticides and fungicides as needed to control pests and diseases. Planting techniques. When selecting a location for planting longan trees, it's important to choose a site with full sun exposure and well-drained soil. Longan trees prefer a slightly acidic soil pH of 5.0 to 6.5. If the soil is too alkaline, you can add sulfur or other soil amendments to lower the pH. To plant a longan tree, dig a hole that is twice the size of the root ball and slightly deeper than the depth of the container. Loosen the soil around the edges of the hole to promote root growth. Gently remove the tree from the container and place it in the hole. Backfill with soil, making sure to cover the roots completely. Water the tree thoroughly and add a layer of mulch around the base of the tree to retain moisture. Caring techniques. Watering. Longan trees require consistent moisture to thrive, especially during the growing season. Water the tree deeply once a week or as needed to keep the soil moist but not waterlogged. During the dry season, you may need to water the tree more frequently. Fertilizing. Fertilize the longan tree with a balanced fertilizer that contains nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Apply the fertilizer in the spring and summer months when the tree is actively growing. Avoid fertilizing in the fall and winter when the tree is dormant. Pruning. Prune the longan tree in the late winter or early spring before new growth appears. Remove any dead or diseased branches and trim back any branches that are crossing or rubbing against each other. Prune the tree to maintain its shape and to encourage new growth. Pests and diseases. Longan trees are susceptible to several pests and diseases, including fruit flies. These pests lay their eggs on the fruit, which hatch into maggots that feed on the fruit. To control fruit flies, remove any fallen fruit from the ground and use sticky traps to catch the flies. Scale insects. These pests suck sap from the tree, causing the leaves to turn yellow and fall off. To control scale insects, prune the tree regularly to remove infested branches and use horticultural oil or insecticidal soap. Anthracnose. This fungal disease causes dark spots to appear on the leaves and fruit, eventually leading to the death of the tree. To control anthracnose, remove any infected leaves and fruit from the tree and use a fungicide. Harvesting longan fruits. Longan fruits typically ripen in the late summer or early fall, depending on the climate. The fruits are ready to harvest when the skin turns brown and the fruit feels soft to the touch.
Choosing the right variety. The first step in growing apple trees is selecting the right variety for your region and purpose. There are thousands of apple cultivars, each with unique characteristics and flavors. Some are better suited for baking, while others are ideal for eating fresh. The key is to select a variety that is adapted to your climate and soil conditions, as well as your taste preferences. Before selecting a variety, it's important to consider the rootstock. Most apple trees are grafted onto a rootstock, which determines the tree's size and vigor. The rootstock also affects the tree's resistance to pests and diseases, as well as its cold hardiness. Some common rootstocks include Malling 7, Malling 9, and Geneva 11. Planting and site selection. Once you've selected your apple variety and rootstock, it's time to plant your tree. Apple trees require well-drained soil with a pH between 6.0 and 7.0. They also need full sun, at least 6 hours a day, and protection from wind and frost. Avoid planting apple trees in low-lying areas, where cold air can accumulate, or in areas prone to frost pockets. To plant your tree, dig a hole that is twice as wide and deep as the root ball. Gently spread the roots and backfill the hole with soil, firming it down as you go. Water your tree thoroughly and add a layer of mulch around the base to conserve moisture and suppress weeds. Watering and fertilizing. Watering is critical to the success of your apple tree. It's important to water deeply and infrequently, rather than shallowly and frequently, to encourage deep root growth. Young trees should be watered once a week during dry spells, while mature trees may only need water during prolonged droughts. Fertilizing is also important for apple trees, especially during the first few years. Use a balanced fertilizer, such as October 10, 2010 formula, and apply it in early spring and again in late summer. Be careful not to over-fertilize, as this can lead to excessive vegetative growth and reduce fruit production. Pruning and training. Pruning is an essential part of apple tree care, as it promotes fruit production and helps control the tree's size and shape. Pruning should be done in late winter or early spring, before the tree breaks dormancy. The goal is to remove any dead, diseased, or damaged wood, as well as any crossing or rubbing branches. Training is another important aspect of apple tree care, especially during the first few years. The goal is to establish a strong central leader and scaffold branches that are evenly spaced and well angled. Use stakes and ties to support the tree and prevent it from leaning or breaking in high winds. Pest and disease control. Apple trees are prone to a variety of pests and diseases, including aphids, apple maggot, codling moth, and fire blight. To control these pests and diseases, it's important to practice good sanitation, such as removing fallen fruit and pruning out infected wood. In addition, you can use insecticidal soaps, horticultural oils, and other organic products to control pests. For more severe infestations, you may need to use chemical pesticides, but be sure to read and follow the label instructions carefully. Harvesting and storage. Apple trees typically produce fruit within 3 to 5 years, depending on the variety and growing conditions. To ensure a good harvest, it's important to monitor your trees for ripeness and harvest them at the right time. Apples should be harvested when they are fully mature, but not overripe, as this can lead to mushy or mealy fruit. To determine ripeness, gently twist the apple and see if it releases from the tree. Another way to test for ripeness is to cut an apple in half and check the seeds. If the seeds are brown, the apple is ripe. Once harvested, apples should be stored in a cool, dark place, such as a root cellar or refrigerator. They can also be stored in boxes or baskets, but be sure to wrap each apple in paper to prevent them from touching and bruising each other. In addition to the tips mentioned above, there are a few other factors to keep in mind when growing and caring for apple trees. One of these is pollination. Most apple trees require cross-pollination, which means that they need a different variety of apple tree nearby in order to produce fruit. Some varieties, such as Golden Delicious and Red Delicious, are self-fruitful and do not require cross-pollination. When selecting a pollination partner for your apple tree, choose a variety that blooms at the same time and is compatible with your tree's rootstock. Some common pollination partners include Honeycrisp, Braeburn, and Granny Smith. Another factor to consider is thinning. Apple trees often produce more fruit than they can support, which can lead to small, misshapen apples and a reduction in overall fruit quality. To prevent this, it's important to thin your apple tree in the early summer, after the fruit has set. Remove any misshapen, damaged, or underdeveloped fruit, leaving only the largest and healthiest specimens. It's important to be patient when growing apple trees. It can take several years for a tree to become established and start producing fruit, and even longer for it to reach its full potential. But with the right care and attention, your apple tree will reward you with a bountiful harvest of delicious, healthy fruit for years to come. Apple trees can also be trained into different shapes, depending on your preference and available space. The most common shapes are central leader and espalier.
Introduction. Eucalyptus is a fast-growing and highly adaptable genus of trees that is native to Australia but now found all around the world. These trees are valued for their essential oils, which have a wide range of uses in industries such as cosmetics, perfumery, and aromatherapy. Additionally, eucalyptus trees are used in the production of paper, construction, and as ornamental plants. In this essay, we will explore the techniques involved in growing and caring for eucalyptus trees. Choosing the right site. Before planting eucalyptus trees, it is essential to consider the site carefully. Eucalyptus trees require full sun and well-drained soil. They are tolerant of a range of soil types, but they prefer slightly acidic soil. The ideal pH range for eucalyptus trees is between 5.5 and 6.5. It is also crucial to select a site with adequate space as eucalyptus trees can grow very tall, sometimes up to 100 meters. Planting eucalyptus trees. Eucalyptus trees can be grown from seeds or cuttings. If you are growing from seeds, it is best to start them indoors in early spring. Soak the seeds in water for 24 hours before planting them in a seed tray filled with a good quality potting mix. Cover the tray with a clear plastic lid to create a greenhouse effect, and keep the soil moist but not waterlogged. Once the seedlings have emerged, you can transplant them into individual pots or directly into the ground. If you are growing eucalyptus trees from cuttings, it is best to take them from semi-hardwood growth in the spring or summer. Make sure the cutting is around 6 inches long and has several leaves. Dip the cutting in rooting hormone and plant it in a pot filled with a good quality potting mix. Keep the soil moist but not waterlogged and place the pot in a warm, bright spot. Caring for eucalyptus trees. Eucalyptus trees require little maintenance once established. However, they do need regular watering during their first few years to help them establish a strong root system. It is also important to keep the area around the tree clear of weeds and other plants that could compete for nutrients. Pruning is also important for the health of eucalyptus trees. You should prune the tree in late winter or early spring before the new growth appears. Remove any dead or diseased branches, as well as any branches that are crossing or rubbing against each other. This will help to maintain the tree's shape and promote healthy growth. Pests and diseases. Eucalyptus trees are generally resistant to pests and diseases. However, they can be susceptible to a few problems, including eucalyptus gall wasp and eucalyptus leaf beetle. These pests can be controlled with insecticides, but it is important to take preventative measures such as keeping the area around the tree clean and free of debris. Harvesting eucalyptus trees. Eucalyptus trees are typically harvested for their essential oils, which are extracted from the leaves and branches. The best time to harvest eucalyptus leaves is during the summer when the oil content is at its highest. To harvest the leaves, simply cut off the branches and strip the leaves from the stem. To extract the essential oil, the leaves and branches are typically steam distilled. The resulting oil can be used in a variety of applications, including perfumes, soaps, and candles. Uses of eucalyptus trees. In addition to their essential oils, eucalyptus trees have a wide range of uses. They are commonly used in the production of paper and construction materials, as well as for firewood and charcoal. Eucalyptus trees are also popular as ornamental plants due to their attractive foliage and fast growth. In recent years, eucalyptus trees have gained popularity in the field of sustainable energy. Eucalyptus biomass can be used to produce biofuels, which can help to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and mitigate the effects of climate change. Eucalyptus trees are also valued for their medicinal properties. The essential oil of eucalyptus has been used for centuries as a natural remedy for coughs, colds, and respiratory infections. It is also believed to have anti-inflammatory and analgesic properties, making it useful for treating muscle and joint pain. Eucalyptus species. There are over 700 species of eucalyptus trees, and each has its unique characteristics and uses. Some of the most common species include Eucalyptus globulus, which is the most widely cultivated species for essential oil production, and Eucalyptus commelgulensis, which is commonly used for construction and erosion control. Another species that is popular in landscaping is Eucalyptus passiflora, commonly known as the snow gum. This species is prized for its attractive bark, which peels away to reveal a smooth, white surface. Eucalyptus trees are also used in reforestation efforts, particularly in areas that have been damaged by wildfires or logging. These trees are fast-growing and can help to restore the ecosystem by providing habitat for wildlife and stabilizing the soil. Environmental impact of eucalyptus trees. While eucalyptus trees have many valuable uses, they also have some negative environmental impacts. In areas where eucalyptus trees have been introduced, they can outcompete native plant species, reducing biodiversity. Eucalyptus trees are also known for their high water consumption, which can be a problem in areas where water is scarce. Growing and caring for a peach tree can be a very rewarding experience, but it does require some knowledge and effort to ensure a healthy and fruitful tree. In this article, we will explore the steps and best practices for growing and caring for peach trees. Choosing a location. The first step in growing a healthy peach tree is selecting the right location. Peach trees need full sun and well-draining soil. They also require a certain amount of chilling hours to produce fruit, so it's important to choose a location that is suitable for your climate. Planting the tree. Once you have selected a suitable location, it's time to plant your peach tree. You should plant your tree in the early spring or fall, when the soil is moist and easy to work with. Dig a hole that is twice as wide as the root ball and just as deep. Gently spread the roots out and backfill the hole with soil, making sure to tamp it down to remove any air pockets. Watering. Newly planted peach trees require frequent watering to establish themselves. You should water your tree deeply once or twice a week, depending on your climate and soil conditions. It's important not to overwater, as this can lead to root rot and other problems. Fertilizing. Peach trees require regular fertilization to promote healthy growth and fruit production. You should fertilize your tree in the early spring, before new growth appears, and again in midsummer. Use a balanced fertilizer, such as a October 10, 2010 or 16-16-16 blend, and follow the manufacturer's instructions for application rates. Pruning. Pruning is an important part of maintaining a healthy and productive peach tree. You should prune your tree in late winter or early spring, before new growth appears. Remove any dead or diseased branches, as well as any branches that are growing towards the center of the tree. This will help to open up the tree and promote better air circulation. Pest and disease control. Peach trees are susceptible to a variety of pests and diseases, so it's important to take steps to prevent and control these problems. One of the best ways to prevent problems is to keep your tree healthy through proper watering, fertilization, and pruning. You should also keep the area around your tree clean and free of debris, as this can harbor pests and diseases. Harvesting. Peaches are ready to harvest when they are firm and fully colored. You should pick your peaches when they are slightly underripe, as they will continue to ripen off the tree. To harvest your peaches, simply twist them gently off the branch. Choosing the right variety. One of the most important decisions you will make when it comes to growing a peach tree is selecting the right variety for your location and climate. Different varieties have different requirements for chilling hours, which is the amount of time the tree needs to be exposed to cold temperatures in order to set fruit. Some varieties require more chilling hours than others, so it's important to choose a variety that is well suited to your climate. Some popular peach tree varieties include Alberta, Red Haven, and Hale Haven. Alberta is a yellow-fleshed peach that is well suited to warmer climates, while Red Haven and Hale Haven are both freestone varieties that are well suited to cooler climates. Managing peach tree diseases. Peach trees are susceptible to a variety of diseases, including peach leaf curl, bacterial spot, and brown rot. To prevent these diseases from taking hold, it's important to keep your peach tree healthy by providing it with proper nutrition, water, and pruning. Additionally, you can use fungicides and other chemical treatments to prevent and control diseases. Peach leaf curl is a common disease that causes the leaves to curl and turn red. To prevent this disease, you can spray your tree with a fungicide in the fall, before the leaves drop. Bacterial spot is another common disease that causes spots on the leaves and fruit. To prevent this disease, you can spray your tree with a copper fungicide during the growing season. Harvesting and storing peaches. Once your peach tree has produced fruit, it's time to harvest and store your peaches. As mentioned earlier, you should pick your peaches when they are slightly underripe, as they will continue to ripen off the tree. To store your peaches, you should place them in a cool, dry place with good air circulation. You can also store your peaches in the refrigerator for a few days. Pruning techniques. Pruning is an important part of peach tree care, as it helps to shape the tree and promote better fruit production. There are several pruning techniques that can be used on peach trees, including thinning, heading back, and renewing. Thinning involves removing some of the fruit from the tree to prevent overcrowding and promote better fruit size and quality. Heading back involves cutting back the ends of the branches to promote branching and new growth. Renewing involves removing older branches and stimulating new growth to rejuvenate an older tree. Thinning fruit. As your peach tree begins to produce fruit, it's important to thin the fruit to ensure a healthy and productive harvest. Thinning involves removing excess fruit from the tree, leaving only the strongest and healthiest peaches. This helps to prevent the tree from becoming overburdened with fruit, which can result in smaller, lower quality peaches. Thinning also allows the remaining peaches to receive more nutrients, which can improve their overall quality and flavor. Pollination. Peach trees require cross-pollination from bees or other pollinators in order to produce fruit. If you have only one peach tree, it's important to plant it near other fruit trees that bloom at the same time, in order to ensure proper pollination. Alternatively, you can purchase a self-pollinating variety of peach tree, which does not require cross-pollination. Winter protection. In colder climates, it's important to protect your peach tree from winter damage. This can be done by wrapping the trunk of the tree with burlap or other insulating material, or by using tree wrap to protect the bark from frost and cold temperatures. You can also cover the tree with a frost blanket during particularly cold spells. Harvest timing. Knowing when to harvest your peaches is important for achieving the best flavor and quality. Peaches should be harvested when they are fully ripe and have a strong, sweet fragrance. To test for ripeness, gently press the fruit with your thumb. If it gives slightly, it's ready to be picked. In recent years, urban gardening has become an increasingly popular trend. While many people are content with planting a few flowers or herbs in their backyard, others have taken the idea of gardening to the next level by growing vegetables and fruits on their rooftops. This method of gardening offers a multitude of benefits for both individuals and communities. In this essay, we will discuss the advantages of rooftop gardening, specifically focusing on the benefits of growing vegetables and herbs on the roof. Firstly, rooftop gardening offers a solution to the problem of food insecurity. With the world's population projected to reach 9.7 billion by 2050, it is crucial that we find ways to feed everyone. One way to do this is by growing food on rooftops. Rooftop gardens can produce fresh fruits and vegetables year-round, providing a reliable source of healthy food for those who may not have access to it otherwise. Secondly, rooftop gardening has a positive impact on the environment. Urban areas tend to have a lot of impervious surfaces, such as concrete and asphalt, which can lead to issues with stormwater runoff. However, rooftop gardens absorb rainwater, reducing the amount of runoff that enters the stormwater system. This, in turn, helps to prevent flooding and erosion, as well as reduce the strain on local water treatment facilities. In addition to reducing stormwater runoff, rooftop gardens also help to mitigate the urban heat island effect. Cities tend to be several degrees warmer than surrounding rural areas due to the abundance of heat-absorbing surfaces. However, rooftop gardens can help to cool down urban areas by reflecting sunlight and providing shade. This can help to reduce energy consumption by lowering the demand for air conditioning. Thirdly, rooftop gardening has the potential to bring communities together. Rooftop gardens can be used as a shared space, where people can come together to plant, tend, and harvest fruits and vegetables. This not only provides a sense of community but also promotes healthy eating and physical activity. In addition, rooftop gardens can be used as a tool for education, teaching people about sustainable agriculture, nutrition, and the environment. Fourthly, rooftop gardening can help to increase property values. A rooftop garden can make a building more attractive to potential tenants or buyers. In addition, a rooftop garden can help to insulate a building, reducing heating and cooling costs. This can lead to cost savings for building owners and tenants. Rooftop gardening offers a way to reconnect with nature in an urban setting. Many people who live in cities are disconnected from nature and may not have access to green spaces. Rooftop gardens offer a way to bring nature back into the city, providing a space to grow plants and connect with the natural world. Fifthly, rooftop gardening can have positive mental health benefits. Studies have shown that spending time in nature and gardening can reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. Rooftop gardens offer a way for city dwellers to access nature without having to leave the city, and can provide a calming and therapeutic activity. Sixthly, rooftop gardening can help to promote biodiversity in urban areas. Cities tend to be lacking in green spaces, which can lead to a decline in biodiversity. However, rooftop gardens can provide a habitat for pollinators, birds, and other wildlife, helping to increase urban biodiversity and support the ecosystem. Seventhly, rooftop gardening can be a sustainable and environmentally friendly way to produce food. With concerns about the environmental impact of traditional agriculture, rooftop gardens offer a way to produce food locally and sustainably, without the need for harmful pesticides and fertilizers. Additionally, rooftop gardens can reduce the carbon footprint of food production by eliminating the need for transportation of produce from rural areas to urban markets. Eighthly, rooftop gardening can be a way to preserve cultural traditions and heritage. In many cultures, gardening and agriculture are important traditions that have been passed down through generations. Rooftop gardens offer a way to continue these traditions in urban areas and keep cultural heritage alive. Ninthly, rooftop gardening can provide opportunities for entrepreneurship and economic development. Rooftop gardens can be used to grow produce that can be sold at local farmers' markets or to restaurants and other businesses. This can provide a source of income for individuals and help to stimulate economic development in urban areas. Tenthly, rooftop gardening can help to reduce the urban food desert. An urban food desert is an area where there is a lack of access to fresh and healthy food. This can be due to the absence of grocery stores or markets in the area. Rooftop gardens can provide a local source of fresh fruits and vegetables to people living in urban food deserts, improving their health and well-being. 11thly, rooftop gardening can be a source of inspiration and innovation for architects and urban planners. As cities continue to grow and expand, architects and urban planners are looking for new and innovative ways to incorporate green spaces into the urban landscape. Rooftop gardens can serve as a model for sustainable urban development, providing ideas and inspiration for future projects. 12thly, rooftop gardening can be a way to combat climate change. Urban agriculture can help to sequester carbon, reducing greenhouse gas emissions that contribute to climate change. Additionally, rooftop gardens can help to reduce the urban heat island effect, which can worsen the impacts of climate change on urban areas. 13thly, rooftop gardening can help to build stronger communities by bringing people together around a shared activity. Gardening is a great way to meet new people and build social connections. By creating rooftop gardens, communities can come together to plant, tend, and harvest fruits and vegetables, sharing the work and the rewards. 14thly, rooftop gardening can be a way to promote food literacy and education. Many people today are disconnected from the food they eat and may not know how to grow or cook their own food. Rooftop gardens can be used as a tool for education, teaching people about sustainable agriculture, healthy eating, and cooking. This can help to promote food literacy and empower people to make healthier choices. 15thly, rooftop gardening can be a source of beauty and aesthetic appeal. Coconut trees are a symbol of tropical paradise, with their tall trunks and clusters of coconuts. The coconut palm, scientifically known as Cocos nucifera, is a versatile tree that has numerous uses in various industries, including food, medicine, and cosmetics. Growing and caring for coconut trees is relatively easy, as they are hardy plants that thrive in warm climates with well-drained soil. Planting coconut trees. The first step in growing coconut trees is to select the appropriate planting site. Coconut trees prefer sandy or loamy soils that are well drained, as waterlogged soils can lead to root rot. The site should also receive ample sunlight, as coconut trees require at least 6 hours of direct sunlight per day. To plant coconut trees, dig a hole that is 3 times the size of the root ball and deep enough to accommodate the entire root system. Place the tree in the hole and backfill with soil, making sure that the soil is firm and free of air pockets. Water the tree thoroughly, and continue to water it regularly until it is established. Caring for coconut trees. Coconut trees require regular care to ensure optimal growth and production. One of the most important aspects of caring for coconut trees is proper irrigation. These trees require a lot of water, especially during the first 2 years of growth. Water the tree deeply and frequently, making sure that the soil remains moist but not waterlogged. Coconut trees also require regular fertilization to maintain healthy growth and production. Apply a balanced fertilizer with a ratio of August 2, 2010, which contains nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, every 3 to 4 months. Apply the fertilizer around the base of the tree and water it in thoroughly. Pruning is another important aspect of caring for coconut trees. Prune the tree annually to remove any dead or diseased fronds, as well as any other parts of the tree that are damaged or interfering with growth. This will promote healthy growth and prevent the spread of disease. Harvesting coconuts. Coconut trees typically begin producing coconuts 4 to 6 years after planting. To harvest coconuts, wait until the fruit is mature and the husk has turned brown. Use a long pole with a hook on the end to remove the fruit from the tree. Alternatively, climb the tree and pick the fruit by hand. Once the coconuts are harvested, remove the husk and use a hammer or machete to crack open the shell. The flesh of the coconut can be eaten raw, used in cooking, or processed to make coconut oil, milk, or cream. Coconut trees are not only beautiful to look at but also offer a wide range of benefits to humans and the environment. For instance, coconut trees help prevent soil erosion by holding the soil together with their roots. They also provide shade, which can be helpful in protecting other plants from the scorching sun. Moreover, the coconuts themselves are a source of food and income for people in many parts of the world. In addition to the previously mentioned steps, there are a few more things you can do to ensure the optimal growth and health of your coconut trees. One of these things is to ensure that the trees are planted at the right spacing. Coconut trees require a lot of space to grow, and overcrowding can lead to stunted growth and reduced yield. It is recommended to space the trees about 9 meters apart. Another important factor to consider is pest and disease management. Coconut trees can be affected by various pests and diseases, such as coconut mites, red palm weevils, and leafy yellowing disease. To prevent these problems, you can use appropriate pesticides or natural remedies, such as neem oil, to control pests and maintain healthy trees. Coconut trees can also play a significant role in sustainable agriculture and environmental conservation. The coconut tree is known for its ability to grow in poor soil and in areas prone to natural disasters such as hurricanes and typhoons. As such, it can be an essential crop in areas where other crops may struggle to survive. Furthermore, coconut trees are often grown in agroforestry systems, where they are intercropped with other crops such as banana, pineapple, or coffee. This method of farming not only maximizes land use but also promotes biodiversity and helps improve soil health. Coconut trees are also being explored as a potential source of bioenergy. Coconut biomass, such as coconut shells and husks, can be used to produce renewable energy in the form of biofuels or biogas. This could provide a sustainable and environmentally friendly alternative to fossil fuels. Additionally, coconut trees can help mitigate the effects of climate change. These trees absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and store it in their tissues, making them a valuable tool in carbon sequestration. Furthermore, coconut trees are resilient to extreme weather conditions, which makes them an ideal crop to plant in areas that are vulnerable to the effects of climate change. Coconut trees also have cultural and social significance in many parts of the world. In some cultures, the coconut tree is considered a sacred plant and is believed to have spiritual and healing powers. Additionally, coconut trees have been used in various traditional practices, such as making baskets, mats, and hats from the leaves, and using the trunk as a building material. Moreover, coconut trees can contribute to rural development and poverty reduction in developing countries. Coconut farming can provide a source of income and employment for smallholder farmers and their families. In some countries, the coconut industry is a significant contributor to the national economy, providing employment opportunities in various sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and tourism. Furthermore, coconut-based products such as coconut oil, coconut water, and coconut sugar have gained popularity in recent years due to their numerous health benefits. These products are often used as natural alternatives to conventional products, such as cooking oil, sports drinks, and sweeteners. One of the challenges faced in coconut farming is the issue of aging and declining trees. As coconut trees grow older, they become less productive and more susceptible to diseases and pests.
Oranges are one of the most popular and beloved fruits in the world. With their juicy, tangy sweet flavor, oranges are not only delicious but also rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. As a result, they are a popular ingredient in many dishes and beverages. But how are these wonderful fruits grown and cared for? In this article, we will explore the techniques and methods involved in growing and caring for orange trees. Part 1: Selecting the right variety. There are many different varieties of oranges, each with its own unique flavor, appearance, and growing requirements. When selecting an orange variety to grow, it's important to consider factors such as climate, soil type, and disease resistance. Some of the most popular orange varieties include Valencia, Navel, Blood, and Cara Cara. Valencia oranges are the most commonly grown variety in the world, and are known for their sweet, juicy flavor. They are typically harvested between March and July. Navel oranges are another popular variety, with a sweet, seedless flesh that is easy to peel. They are typically harvested between November and April. Blood oranges, as their name suggests, have a deep red flesh that is rich in antioxidants. They are typically harvested between December and May. Finally, Cara Cara oranges are a newer variety that is known for its pink flesh and sweet flavor. They are typically harvested between December and April. Part 2: Planting orange trees. Once you've selected your orange variety, it's time to plant your trees. Orange trees can be planted in a variety of soil types, but they do best in well-draining soil that is rich in nutrients. They also require full sun and regular watering, especially during the first few years of growth. When planting your orange trees, it's important to consider the spacing between trees. Orange trees should be spaced about 20 to 25 feet apart to allow for adequate sunlight and air circulation. Dig a hole that is twice the size of the root ball, and place the tree in the hole. Backfill the hole with soil, and water the tree thoroughly. Part 3: Caring for orange trees. Once your orange trees are planted, it's important to care for them properly to ensure a bountiful harvest. Here are some tips for caring for orange trees. Watering. Orange trees require regular watering, especially during the first few years of growth. Water the trees deeply once a week, and adjust the frequency based on rainfall and soil moisture. Fertilizing. Orange trees require regular fertilization to promote healthy growth and fruit production. Use a balanced fertilizer that is high in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Pruning. Pruning is important for maintaining the shape and size of your orange trees, as well as promoting healthy growth and fruit production. Prune your trees in the late winter or early spring, removing any dead or diseased branches. Pest and disease control. Orange trees can be susceptible to a variety of pests and diseases, including citrus greening, scale insects, and aphids. Monitor your trees regularly for signs of infestation, and take action immediately if you notice any problems. Once your orange trees are mature and producing fruit, it's time to start harvesting. The timing of the harvest will depend on the variety of orange and the climate in which it is grown. In general, oranges are harvested when they are fully ripe, which can be determined by their color and firmness. Oranges should be firm but slightly yielding when gently squeezed. To harvest oranges, simply twist the fruit off the tree or use pruning shears to cut the stem close to the fruit. Be sure to handle the fruit carefully to avoid bruising, as bruised fruit will not keep as long and can spoil more quickly. Part 4. Storing and using oranges. Oranges can be stored at room temperature for a few days or in the refrigerator for up to 2 weeks. It's important to store oranges away from other fruits and vegetables, as they can release ethylene gas which can cause other produce to spoil more quickly. Oranges can be used in a variety of ways, from making juice and zest to using them in baked goods and savory dishes. When using oranges, be sure to wash the fruit thoroughly and remove any seeds or pith. Part 5. Common problems and solutions. Growing and caring for orange trees can be challenging, especially if you're dealing with pests or diseases. Here are some common problems and solutions to help keep your orange trees healthy and productive. Citrus greening. This is a bacterial disease that can cause yellowing leaves, stunted growth, and bitter fruit. There is no cure for citrus greening, so infected trees should be removed to prevent the disease from spreading. Scale insects. These tiny insects can infest orange trees, causing yellowing leaves and reduced fruit production. They can be controlled with insecticidal soap or horticultural oil. Aphids. These small insects can cause yellowing leaves and distorted growth. They can be controlled with insecticidal soap or horticultural oil. Frost damage. Orange trees are sensitive to frost, which can cause damage to the leaves and fruit. Protect your trees from frost by covering them with blankets or tarps during cold snaps. Part 6. Propagating orange trees. If you want to grow more orange trees, you can propagate them through a variety of methods.